going on? Chaz from Elevate Coaching. So we're no racing. Racing has been canceled for us, but we've started up this sweet practice crit thing going on right here in Clovis and Fresno. So super cool. A lot of people came out from like Bakersfield area, Visalia, Modesto. Anyways, good turnout. Some quick stats from the race today was average speed was around 26.8. My average power for the race was 278. Max power was 1075. Normalized 311. I got in a breakaway. My power during the breakaway was an average of 291, and my average heart rate for the day was 180. Anyways, just to lay it out, we had pretty much the full ride bike squad here, minus Tim and who else were we missing? Oh, Miles. We were missing Miles too. But outside of that, we had myself, Nick, Tyler, and then we also picked up Alex Kabatic, who's a local guy. We recently added him to the team. But this race was super fun. Like, we really went out to ride as a team. Fun thing was we wanted to go after a preem because we had some preem laps. But this race, we didn't have any preems. But basically, we lined up on the front as a team, and we just wanted to drill it. We just wanted to keep it fast, keep it single file. We rode the gutters a lot because of the wind and whatnot. But we were just trying to like practice some lead out stuff too for those preems, and they never happened. But the first opening laps were interesting. Like, we did something that we never do as a team. We rode aggressively at the front, and we set pace, and we really controlled it. So right here, who we have here is we got Tyler from our team, the vegan cyclist. Anyways, note this, the wind. Here's the flag. So the wind's coming kind of like a head crosswind right now on this section. So anytime we came through here, we really tried to ride the gutter. That way, everyone would be strung out, single file behind us. Drafting would be really tough. And then we'd come into this corner, swing a little wide, and come through. That's something that we saw before the race and we knew to do. I had told them, hey, when we get on that section, we want to ride gutter. Plus, if you ride gutter as much as possible, you really can stop people from attacking you on that side, so everything's going to come from the opposite side. Anyways, Tyler here does a huge pull first lap. So he does the whole first lap. I mean, we averaged around 28, 29 that whole first lap with massive headwind sections. And then it was my turn, and I took over. And basically, what we do as a team is we're just gonna sit on the front, and we're just gonna drill it. Because again, we thought we were gonna practice our lead out, but the preems never happened. Last week we had a preem for movie tickets, and which we can't even go to the movies right now, anyways. So it was kind of a ridiculous preem. Maybe we use them in 2023. But just never quite happened. But here, the Swift Junior showed up. They were pretty aggressive. Right here, they had an attack, which it was kind of an interesting moment to attack because we were keeping the pace really high, pretty close to 30. And then when they attacked, they attacked into the headwind section, and then they ramped the pace up, and it was easy for me to jump on his wheel. And when his attack was done, it's not like we all just sat up. I just kept the pace high, and I kept it strung out, and we kept the pressure on. I mean, really, we wanted to try to keep it together and just kind of fast as possible for the opening laps and really discourage people from attacking. But the Swift kids, they were kind of aggressive and they were attacking even when we were going full gas. Now, obviously, they got no gap right there on that just because we're already going full gas. I mean, it's hard to get away when you're going full gas. You have to have an extremely good snap to get away, and then you have to be able to really put down power to stay away because, again, we're really throwing it down. I mean, I'm not riding super easy. Right here, my turn's over. I did a lap. Tyler did a lap. I did a lap. Now we're looking for someone else to come in the front and kind of set some pace. And then we'll jump back into just kind of keeping it up there. No one was coming around me, so I was keeping it high. And then right here, another Swift kid goes. And at this moment, we all kind of looked at each other. I looked over at Velo Kings, the team, and I said, hey, I'm good with just letting that guy go right now. Let's just let him dangle out there. They were good with it too. So again, we just sat on the front and we just kept him within sight, and our goal was to let him just kind of burn a pretty big match out there. Plus, I think this junior is actually one of the strongest kids on the team. I mean, he's got some real potential, and none of us went with him because we're starting lap 3, right? So Nick goes to the front from our team right here, and he's just gonna kind of keep the pace up. I mean, basically we said, hey, just keep him within sight, keep him within 15, 20 seconds. But then here we have Velo Kings. huge attack, and I'm like, well, I'm the one that's, I'm in the great position to counter, or not counter, but follow that attack. So I take up the attack there, I chase that. I end up going pretty deep to catch up to Velo Kings. I believe that's Richard from Velo Kings with pretty solid effort he put in there, like super solid, dude. Richard, by the way, has been riding very well lately. It's not like he hasn't been riding well in the past. He's riding really well right now, though, considering there's no racing. He's on pretty good form. I know he's been doing a lot of cool things too with his diet, and he's lost quite a bit of weight recently. And dude, honestly, his power numbers are going up, his weight's coming down. Like, he's starting to he is getting dangerous. Anyways, we pull back Richard, and we still got the Swift kid up on the front. Tyler goes to the front. He's going to take up the pacemaking now for us. If anyone else tries to attack, he's going to immediately jump and cover that. There we got my boy Alex and Nick, and then obviously my camera, and that makes up our whole squad. But that was really a good job by Richard with that attack. And then right here, we're still together. Swift is still off the front solo. He was doing a really good dig. And right here, Velo Kings, this is Mark Tucker, I believe. He kind of moves up on the inside there, kind of sneaky. But Nick is ready for it, and he immediately jumps when Mark starts to ride away. And we kind of wanted to like stack the brake. So Mark kind of went, and then he let up on the gas, so it allowed me to easily just kind of come across. And again, though, we're perfect. I mean, Nick is immediately covered him on his wheel. The gap wasn't too big where I could ride across to it. And we, dodged another bullet there. Again, you can see the Swift kid solo. He's getting ready. There he goes, turning the corner. I mean, he's not that far up the road, and we're not panicking. Like, we're totally just letting him sit there. We know if we want to, just take one or two of us to really just light it up, and we can bring him back. But right now, we're just kind of just riding tempo on the front, keeping it high. So then we fast forward, and right here is when the Swift kid gets caught. Super sad. But dude, he was out there for a good, I don't know, 4 laps maybe? Like, he was out there for a good while. Anyways, Nick takes up the pacemaking. Nick is our sprinter. Nick has been riding super good lately. Like, his breakaway ability has really gotten strong. It's something that he used to be pretty good at back in 2014, 2015. But since coming back on the bike, he's been playing a lot of catch up. But man, recently his engine has been super good. So then we fast forward again into this race, and here goes another Swift kid. Like, kudos to them for just really throwing it down. Velo Kings responds. I look and realize no one from our team is responding to that, so I go ahead and jump across. Again, Velo Kings, this is Mark Tucker. We were kind of watching him too. Mark Tucker is strong. I mean, if he was to go and race like Masters Nationals, I'm pretty sure he'd walk away with a podium or possibly even a win. He's riding crazy strong right now. We did a climb not too far ago together, and I put out a pretty dang solid 5-minute power up it, and he stayed glued to my wheel the whole time. Like, don't let him fool you. He is strong, and he's here to race. But he tried to go across, so of course I jumped on his wheel as he followed the Swift kid, and we closed that down. I think we have a little gap right now. Yeah, no, we do. So me, Mark, and the Team Swift, me, Velo Kings, and Team Swift, we're off the front right now with a gap. So I'm just doing a deep dig here, kind of driving the brake. This is where I ease up. I flick for Mark to come through, and then I'm waiting for the Team Swift kid to come through because he's supposed to be on Mark's wheel. But he kind of just let off the gas and let a huge gap open up, and I was like, what the heck? So then I had to like sprint across to close the gap, and me and Mark just kind of looked at each other and was like, this just isn't really the right move yet, not the right mix-up. We're still kind of early in the race. Like, we didn't really like the makeup of the brake. So we're totally cool with just kind of doing a reset thing. And the pack was honestly, they were literally like 8 seconds behind us. So we let the pack just catch us. We all 3 of us sit up. We're just gonna reset, reshuffle. Actually, Nick came up to me and I was like, yeah, dude, just wasn't the right makeup. And that happens. That totally happens in racing. Like, you get in a breakaway and you just realize this is not the right makeup. But the Swift kid that was in the break with us decided to attack as soon as we all got caught by the field. Kind of interesting. So he puts in a little dig here, stay on his wheel, and then Nick counters it like beautifully. And I mean that's just what you do, right? If someone attacks and then it peters out, someone needs to counter. Nick countered that. Obviously the field is now strung out, so we're just kind of resetting it, trying to get a different makeup of guys up the road to establish a break. Just kind of doing what we can. But up until this point, it's been pretty much, it stays together. A break will go up the road for maybe half a lap, and then it's brought back.
Let me fall back first.
So Tyler, as you can hear there, Tyler rolled up to me and literally was like, hey, I'm going to attack, I want you to counter attack. So we had communication during the race. That's something that we do as a team, is we really communicate. So there goes Tyler, he told me he was going to attack. He attacks, I told him I need to fall back a little bit so I can get kind of a running start and counter that. I don't think Nick was on the same page with us when he said that. But, I mean, it was a good move by Tyler. It was good thinking. Again, we talk through things while we're riding. I mean, we communicate. That's the only way you're going to be able to really, execute your game plan, is if you guys actually talk. So we do talk while we're riding. Tyler is lighting up on the front. He did that attack. Everyone stayed with him. I'm now getting ready to do my counter attack. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to wait until the backside, and then I'm going to counter this. So then we turn the corner, and I think right there again, Tyler gives another big dig to go, and as soon as I close up on mark right here, I'm gonna go. So I come up on mark here, swing out to the left to go, and it happens that Velo Kings goes as well, but I already had kind of a jump, so I keep accelerating past him. That was Elias from Velo Kings. It was amazing. I'm so glad he jumped right when I jumped. But I had a little bit more momentum, so I came around him. I take the first big pull, and when I looked back coming out of this corner, we had a gap. The gap's there, so I'm gonna have to do some work now and try to get this established. We're kind of looking at each other. I'm kind of easing up to let other guys pull through. Elias pulls through. Now I'm just catching this draft, and we're getting ready to go into this corner here, into the finishing straight. And again, right here's where I'm gonna look back. I'm gonna see that we have a gap, that this possibly can actually work. So, at this point, I'm kind of in. I'm thinking this is the move. We're over halfway done. It was a 41-minute crit, and we're over halfway done. I think the break, when we got in the break, it was about 18 minutes long was how long our break was. So right here, I'm gonna start laying down some watts and do some work, and I'm gonna try to see if this one will succeed. And the people in the break too, I thought it was a good makeup. So I'm trying to see. I'm pretty sure they come around. Oh no! So this is what happens to you, and this is pretty rad. So right here, we're only like 10 seconds off the front, and they all kind of like. I believe Mark from Velo Kings is with me, and Elias is with me. They kind of like eased up and didn't want to like really pull that hard. And I looked back and saw Nick coming, so I eased up. Now Nick right here, Nick has just got onto the back of us, and now I'm going to try to open up the gap for us. I'm going to throw down some watts, try to accelerate in this headwind section, and see if we can just open that gap up and give us some breathing room, and then we can start getting a solid rotation in where we will now be able to work like a team and just stay away. So that's what I do. And here's the beauty of this thing. When Nick catches on, in my head, I'm like, hallelujah, my sprinter has just made the breakaway. Remember earlier in this video, I said, Nick is riding really well. Like he's actually been making breakaways lately. Again, he bridged across and he jumped so violently that no one was able to stay on his wheel. And he bridges across almost quickly, like stupid quickly. And now he's with us in the break. And at this point, I am no longer worried about winning. I am now going to work for Nick because Nick is my sprinter. So because of that, I'm all in for Nick. So I'm gonna try to take as much of the workload off of Nick as possible, and I'm actually gonna double up on my workload. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just driving this for the first lap, really trying to open up that gap. Right here is where I pull over. I do a little elbow flick right about here to let the other guys come through. So the makeup of the break is we have 2 Velo Kings and we have 2 ride bikes. So we have Mark, we have Elias, we have Nick, my sprinter, and me. This is our makeup. It is a beautiful makeup. I really like this. At this point, I'm all in. Because honestly, Mark is a pretty good sprinter. Elias is a pretty good sprinter too, but my money is on Nick in this situation. So I'm gonna work my tail off for Nick.
Steady. Steady. Trust me, steady.
So again, I like to look back and kind of see what's happening behind us, and I noticed Alex, our other teammate, was making this massive dig effort to bridge across. I mean, there was a massive gap between us and the field, and he was probably out there for 2 or 3 laps trying to bridge. And this is where I told Nick, dude, keep it steady, okay? Steady. Trust me, keep it steady. Like, I didn't want to say Alex is coming because I didn't want the Velo King guys to hear that Alex is coming, because then they could potentially go to the front and drill it and he would never catch on. So I pull off and I tell Nick, keep it steady when you take your pull. Trust me, steady. And he understood that, like, okay, we just need to kind of keep it slow, back off a little bit. And this is when Alex catches on. And at this point, I'm like, sweet. Now there's 3 ride bikes and 2 Velo Kings in the break. Alex is also a sprinter. So now I believe we're coming into the last lap. We have so much team communication that happened here. I'm gonna let you guys listen in on this.
Go. We're okay. Yeah, take from me now. Keep running. Come here. Steady.
So I'm telling Alex to get in front of me because I want him to be the guy leaning out in front of me. I'm telling him keep it steady, not too fast.
Steady. Up one. All right, go.
So that move by Mark is something he did the week before as well. So we kind of thought that would happen. So yeah.
Go by. Go.
So at this point, we're going to drag race to the corner. He's going to be leading me out. Mark is on my right. I'd originally told Alex when we come out of this last corner, I want him to go left, and I'm going to come around him on the right. When Mark came in on the inside, I realized I needed to change that tactic. Here's what I told him to do.
All right, got her. On the gutter.
He goes right. There's crosswind, closes the door on Mark. Mark is forced now to try to get back onto my wheel. Nick takes over. Can't really hear Nick, but he yells at me to go, letting me know I need to give it everything I have to the line. Come out of the corner. Nick is on my wheel. Going as hard as I can now. Really going my last big dig, and then there goes Nick for the sprint. He wins it. Elias comes in second, but dude, he drops his chain in the sprint, unclips and saves it. Like, doesn't go down, but possibly could have crashed. Anyways, so the way that worked out, like, Mark Tucker from Velo Kings, he had done that exact same move the week before. We were not in the break. We were racing for third in the sprint, and he did that move going into the last lap. I followed his wheel. I had another guy lead me out, and I ended up winning the field sprint and took third. But I told Alex when he first caught us in the break, I said, you need to watch Mark on the last lap. So we lined up with him in front and me and then Nick, so it was kind of our train. And then when Mark went, Alex knew he was ready for it. I told him to go because I saw him first, so I tell Alex you need to go. He immediately gets up, and then when we catch him, you know, it's easy to want to sit up and stay on his wheel, but that's when I tell Alex to keep going, like just blow by him, keep it fast, do not give any time for recovery. Anyways, that was our crit. Super fun. Communication was on point as a team. Loved it. Anyways, you guys keep training hard and riding hard, and hey, there's gonna be more of these too, so I'll catch you guys on the next video when I break down another crit.